Let's get more on this. Yahya al Arid joins me now in the studio. He's the spokesman for the Syrian Negotiation Commission. Many thanks for joining us in the studio, Yahya. So, as we heard in that piece by a reporter, there are currently talks planned between Russia, Turkey and Iran on averting some sort of humanitarian disaster in Idlib. How optimistic are you that these talks or other talks could avert an attack by the Syrian regime?
Well, relatively optimistic because we rely a great deal on the efforts exerted by Turkey to stop this tragedy. If reason prevails, actually, Idlib would be safe. However, if it doesn't prevail, it would be devastating not only for Idlib, but also for the attackers, because Idlib has people who are displaced and who were ready also to defend themselves. At the same time, the plight is one of the population that was thrown into that place, which exceeds 3 million people. And the regime, the Assad regime, is under the illusion that it can control all the geography of Syria. Actually, in reality, in terms of power on the ground, it doesn't have any. It relies heavily and mainly on the Iranian militias and on the Russian bombardment. Russia actually should come to reason and understand that the regime's main purpose is to stay in power, and it is using Russia, it's using Iran, it's using everybody to stay in power. It doesn't care about the people. It
is Russia that is critical here, but Russia has been supporting the Syrian regime up till this point in all its previous attacks in Aleppo and so on. Why do you think this time they may not go ahead? Well,
Idlib is a special case. It is unlike the Al-Ghouta, the eastern of Damascus, nor the Homs area or the south. Idlib is close to Turkey, and part of that is part of the Turkish national interest. At the same time, there are special relations between Turkey and Russia. And we believe that Russia cannot afford threatening the security of Idlib. At the same time, we understand that Russia has a purpose, and it wants just to harvest what it has done militarily against the Syrian people to come out with a political achievement. You cannot come out with a political achievement unless you take their people and their security and their safety into consideration. Russia is talking about the return of refugees. How could you talk about the return of refugees and at the same time attack a certain place like Idlib and result in more refugees? So the situation is quite tricky, and we understand the head of the SNC, the Syrian Negotiation Commission, Mr. Nasser al-Hariri, was in talks with Mr. Shawish Oglo, the foreign minister of Turkey, and they discussed the dangers that could come out of such a criminal act against Idlib.
Let's hope those talks are successful. Many thanks for joining us, Yahya al Arid from the Syrian Negotiation Commission.